Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to look at reading and brain optimization in a completely new way. What if we thought of reading not just as this mundane task we do, but as an actual biological computer process? Because it turns out, reading heavily involves a physical input mechanism plus a cognitive database. And just like any computer you own, if you're running on outdated specs, your processing speed is absolutely going to lag. So today, we're getting under the hood. We're going to upgrade your hardware, meaning the physical mechanics of how your eyes gather data, and we're going to upgrade your software, the cognitive vocabulary database you use to comprehend all that data. Get ready to completely optimize your system.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think of this agenda as our system update log, detailing exactly how we're going to upgrade both your physical eye mechanics and your cognitive vocabulary. We'll start with the information overload, then move into hardware, upgrading your vision, followed by software, expanding your vocabulary. After that, we'll cover the Oxford 3000 Foundation, and finally, putting it together.
Section 1. The Information Overload.
So, let me ask you, are you constantly overwhelmed by your daily reading pile? You know, the endless work emails, the research papers, the news, or that towering stack of books on your nightstand that just literally never stops growing? Honestly, most of us feel this intense pressure because we are still reading exactly how we were taught when we were kids. We look at one single word at a time, fixing our eyes on each little cluster of letters. And we often find ourselves rereading sentences because we just lose focus. This outdated word-by-word method severely bottlenecks your processing speed. It's a universal bug in our current system. To really grasp the sheer volume of data we expect our brains to handle, just look at this number, 13.7 million. Research from Oxford Learning shows that a student who maintains an average daily reading time of just 30 minutes or more encounters a staggering 13.7 million words before they even graduate high school. I mean, that is an immense amount of data for our brain to process. And in our fast-paced, digitally connected adult lives, that daily data intake is only increasing. To handle this kind of load without completely crashing, upgrading the hardware is absolutely essential.
Section 2. Hardware. Upgrading your vision.
The real secret to our hardware upgrade lies in peripheral vision, which is our ability to see things away from our direct pinpoint focus. Think about it like this deeply ingrained anatomical survival mechanism. If you're staring straight ahead and someone suddenly throws a baseball across the room, your eyes automatically detect that movement, right? You just track the ball. Your brain effortlessly picks up that relevant information in your peripheral range. Well, we can actually hack that exact same biological mechanism to essentially scan text and dramatically increase our reading speed.
Now, what's really interesting about this line is the visual shift. Over on the left, traditional reading forces you to stare directly at a single word, read it, and then jump to the next word. It's incredibly inefficient. But on the right, look at what happens when you just focus on the blank white space directly between the words on the screen. By consciously resetting your fixation point to that empty space, you organically force your peripheral vision to pick up the word on the left and the word on the right simultaneously. You're suddenly processing multiple words at once.
But to actually train your eyes to do this smoothly, you need a pacing tool, like the finger guide. You see, our eyes are biologically wired to track motion, kind of like a cat tracking a laser pointer. By intentionally running your index finger under each line of text about 25% faster than your comfortable reading pace, you subconsciously force your eyes to follow that moving target. Your physical hardware just naturally acclimates to the new speed, pulling in words through your peripheral vision without sacrificing any of your actual comprehension. And just like any other muscle in your body, your eyes actually need a workout to perform at peak capacity and avoid fatigue while speed reading. Iris Reading suggests this super quick 3-step routine you can do anywhere to strengthen that hardware. First, sit comfortably and focus your direct vision on a spot on the wall straight in front of you. Next, bring your index fingers up to the sides of your head and just wiggle them. Finally, slowly move your arms backward until those wiggling fingers completely vanish from your sight, and then bring them forward until they reappear. It's an easy, quick reset that vastly improves your peripheral span.
Section 3. Software. Expanding your vocabulary.
Now, let's be real. Reading 3 times faster isn't going to be very helpful if you don't actually comprehend the data you're downloading. That's why we need this software update. To install new data into the brain, Oxford Learning suggests building a diverse toolkit. It all starts with reading extensively. While 15 minutes is a great baseline for gains, hitting that 30 to 60-minute mark daily is what yields the greatest academic success. But don't just read passively. Keep a vocabulary journal to actively engage with new words. You can also easily supplement this by listening to podcasts, playing contextual word games like Scrabble, and keeping a thesaurus handy to constantly feed your database.
Section 4.
The Oxford 3000 Foundation.
So the crucial point is that not all words carry the same weight. Have you heard of the Oxford 3000? It's basically the foundational code of the English language. It's a highly curated list of the 3,000 most important, most frequently used words to learn in English. Mastering this specific core list acts as the ultimate software foundation. Because if you truly know these words, you can confidently navigate everything from an A1 beginner level all the way up to a B2 upper intermediate level of communication.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the software actually scales up in complexity. At the A1 beginner level, the foundational code relies on highly concrete, tangible nouns and adjectives, words like baby and water. But as your internal software upgrades to B1 intermediate, you start processing much more complex, multisyllabic concepts like academic or chemical. By the time you reach B2 upper intermediate, your brain effortlessly handles abstract, high-level vocabulary like abandon, massive, and strategy. This right here is exactly how a strong cognitive database is built, layer by layer.
Section 5. Putting it together.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a cohesive daily practice. This is what we call the ultimate feedback loop. Think about it. By training your peripheral vision and using a pacing guide, you naturally achieve faster reading. That faster consumption allows you to consume more text, which naturally exposes you to way more vocabulary in a shorter amount of time. And as you actively engage with those words using the Oxford 3000 framework, your database grows, which in turn leads to even faster comprehension in the future. The entire system just beautifully feeds itself.
Of course, just like upgrading a physical computer, you can't just download a massive update and expect the whole rig to run flawlessly without a little regular maintenance. As Oxford Learning points out, the key to success is practice, practice, practice. Consistent effort is the true predictor of long-term success. It's all about combining those brand new peripheral vision skills with daily, extensive reading and actively hunting down new words to add to your database.
Well, we've successfully cleared the bugs, optimized your visual hardware, and massively expanded your cognitive software. You now possess the actual tools to read at the speed of thought. So, the only question left for you is, now that your hardware and software are fully upgraded, what will you choose to read next? Seriously, go grab that backlog of information you've been putting off, start tracking with your finger, and let your upgraded system loose. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Happy reading!